CrossFit and the sport of CrossFit are now very different things, and I'm going to explain to you why in this video. So when Greg Glassman first created CrossFit, the definition is constantly varied, functional movement performed at high intensity across broad time and model domains. Now, honing in on that first part, constantly varied. Now, the reason, or part of the reasoning for that, is also explained in what Greg Glassman says that we are training for. Now, it's described as the unknown and the unknowable. So for what the original concept of CrossFit was designed for, that works perfectly. As a training program for servicemen, whether that's firefighters, policemen, the army, Navy SEALs, whether it's for your everyday person, your average Joe who just wants to get fitter and doesn't know what their life is going to throw at them, or whether it's as a complementary type of training program to go along with another recreational sport. So they may do CrossFit, 3 times a week, and they may also play football, soccer, rugby, do MMA or some other sport for the rest of the week. And so for that, unless you're looking at a more detailed and specified training program, CrossFit works perfectly as an all-round approach that will get you ready for the unknown and the unknowable. But where that now no longer applies is the sport of CrossFit. Because now, even from your sanctional level all the way down to your local box event, all of these CrossFit competitions generally have a certain type of structure. They'll all have probably a strength event, they'll all have a longer endurance piece, and then they'll have a mix of different types of metcons of varying length. And even within those events, we could pretty much write a list of all the different exercises and all the different movements that we could possibly face. And then we can go away and we can train those movements, we can train those exercises, get better at them, so that the unknown and the unknowable, it no longer applies when you're talking about CrossFit as a sport. Now, knowing the exercises that you're going to face isn't where the redundancy of constant variance ends. In fact, now that you know what you're going to be facing, you can look at yourself as an athlete, you can see what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, and you can put much more effort into working on your weaknesses. Now, ideally, our full training program would be completely tailored to suit us, but one-to-one coaching can cost anything from £200 all the way to £600 a month. And for your average person, that's obviously just not going to be feasible. So then you might look towards group programming. And there are a lot of group programs out there that are focused on competitors. But the reason that group programming doesn't work is because every single athlete is different. And when the coach originally programs each workout, they will have, whether it's themselves or whether it's someone else, they will have a specific athlete in mind when they program each workout. And they will have a specific idea of what that athlete can do, and they'll program to suit that. Now, although there are scaling options, if you're really wanting to work on your weaknesses, how can you do that within a group training program? And I'm going to give you an example now as we're going to go across to the whiteboard. Okay, so let's just say the head coach for popular group programming was programming a workout that was to tax your muscular endurance, and we wanted to test or to work on our strict handstand push-ups under fatigue. So let's just say they have a specific athlete in mind that they're thinking about, and they program the workout, say they do 5 rounds of 15 burpees, they do 35 double unders, and then 10 strict handstand push-ups. Okay? Nice wee triplet, 5 rounds, and they're going to test under fatigue or strict handstand push-up capacity. Now, what happens when you have 3 very different athletes? So let's say athlete A and athlete B would be 2 of your top performers in any typical gym. Athlete C would also be on the upper end of your average female members who might have a great engine but might struggle in some of the strict gymnastic exercises. Athlete A is a slightly shorter athlete, so he has a shorter range of motion, and strict gymnastics are one of his strengths, so his max strict handstand push-ups is 30. Athlete B is great with a barbell, but is maybe a bit of a taller athlete, and so his max strict handstand push-ups is 12.
For athlete C, this may be one of her worst movements, so her max strict handstand push-ups is 3. So how will this workout differ for each athlete? Well, for athlete A, 10 reps is easy, so he will probably do each round unbroken. Athlete B might manage the first, maybe even the second round unbroken, but on rounds 3, 4 and 5, he's going to be splitting these 10 strict handstand push-ups into sets of 2, probably 3 or even 4. And athlete C is probably going to have to do doubles or even singles from the word go in order to maintain any sort of intensity that she's picked up from the double unders and the burpees in order to minimise having long breaks. So if the coach's desired intention for the workout was to work strict handstand push-up capacity under fatigue with a maximum of 1 break in the later rounds, has any of these athletes actually reached the desired training stimulus? No.
So how do we solve that problem? Well, let's just take away the number 10 and change that for 40%. 40% of your max strict handstand push-ups. And this is how we program for peak fitness programming. Whatever we're doing, whatever the impetus, whatever the intention of the workout, we will give you a percentage for the barbell, for the movement. So if it's a barbell workout, it'll be 40%, for example, maybe of your max, or it could be 40% of your 10 rep max. For a gymnastic movement like this, it will be 40% of your max unbroken. Okay, so let's go back to athlete A. His max was 30 unbroken, so 40% for him is going to be 12 strict handstand push-ups every round. Athlete B, his maximum was 12, so every round we're going to round it up to 5. So every round he's going to do 5 handstand push-ups, strict handstand push-ups. So again, with this percentage that we are given, we can then create the intention that we want them to go unbroken every single round, or maximum, if they have to, 2 sets. Maybe in the latter rounds. So athlete C, we know her maximum was only 3, but we're just going to give her 1 strict handstand push-up to do every round, because the intention of this workout is muscular endurance and strict handstand push-ups done under fatigue. So if we pre-fatigue with these movements every round, her goal was just to be able to do 1 strict handstand push-up every round. Now, first few rounds that might be easy, towards the end it might be difficult. That's the idea, that's the challenge. But by giving an accurate percentage, we can personalise and tailor the programming specific to each individual athlete. So peak fitness programming, we want to bridge the gap between ridiculously expensive, personalised, one-to-one coaching and group programming, which is so unspecific. What we want to do is create a programming that can be tailored athlete to athlete, so that we can create a stimulus, we can create an intention for each workout, but by giving percentages for every single movement, we're then able to make sure that each athlete fulfills that stimulus and that intention and gets the same workout. Yes, the repetitions are going to be different, and I'm pretty sure that athlete A might take longer to do his 12 strict handstand push-ups than athlete C to do our 1. So the time itself might not matter as much on that sugar WOD leaderboard, but the intention and the actual stimulus of the workout is carried out correctly as the coach intended. So that's what makes us different, and that's how we aim to bridge the gap and give a tailored approach to each athlete. Another big difference with peak fitness programming is that you might find that you're doing the same or very similar workouts either every week or every couple of weeks. And the reason for that is that another negative side of variance is the ability to accurately track your progress, as well as the fact that it underutilises one of our most important tools in our toolbox, which is progressive overload. Compare that to other group programming, which might retest benchmark workouts every 3 to 6 months. With peak fitness programming, you'll be able to accurately see your progress week upon week, which not only helps with motivation, but if things are degressing, it can then give us information real time so that we can adjust things on the fly to stop any further degressions.